How to read a chart as a whole. First and most fundamental principle, not everything is equally important. When we are looking at an astrological chart for the first time, we are like a newcomer in London. It's a big city. We know nothing, and there are more than 25,000 streets. So we start spotting the major landmarks. For instance, Trafalgar Square, Charing Cross Road, the nearest tube station, etc. Hence, this most fundamental principle. Let's identify the main spots and the main avenues. Here is another metaphor to make the same point. The chart is a kingdom. The sun is the king. The moon is the queen. The ruler of the ascendant is the prime minister. There are 4 strongholds, the 4 angles, ascendant, descendant, MC, IC. Any planet found there has special powers, like a powerful minister. The South Node says something about the kingdom history. It helps a lot to understand. And the North Node says something about the current political orientation. It helps a lot to understand as well. So starting with these indicators will never be wrong, and it's possible to ignore the rest for the time being. Not let our mind getting confused with so many details immediately from the start. So, every planet may be more or less powerful and more or less in agreement with their sovereigns, the sun and the moon, and with the prime minister. So we want to know who are the ones who have the greatest power, and we want to know what they want. The result may be a comedy or a tragedy, or often both at the same time. So let's have a look at the sun and the moon. The king, the sun, symbolizes our conscious ego. It's a work in progress. The sun wants to shine the light of our most authentic self. He wants a united kingdom, literally. The sun wants integration of all the bits and pieces into a coherent whole that functions precisely to be creative. And this is not granted from the start. The sun is turned towards the future. It's about becoming. The queen herself simply wants life. Her concerns are much more down to earth, and she wants food, shelter, emotional connections, safety, and of course children from the sun. She remembers the past and reproduces patterns. Any creation is a child. Whatever we do with our life is a creation. Whatever we generate is born from the sun and the moon. So I won't say more about sun and moon because the purpose of this I'm reading a blog post, and the purpose is to read a chart as a whole. And of course, this starts with deepening our understanding of all the symbols. So I may suggest here to read Magical Doors. That's my book about the symbols of astrology. And let's go on. How well do the king and the queen get on together? How powerful are they? And what do they want? These questions will help us understand the sun-moon relationship, because a chart as a whole is not a list of placements, it is a web of relationships built around especially this one. Other important questions will be, how well do the king and the queen get on with the prime minister, and with any power to be reckoned with? This is just the beginning of a long blog post about how to enter the world of a chart. Follow the threads with a lot of illustrations. Have a good reading.